All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're going to break down two massive new rulebooks coming out of the European Union that are pretty much set to change our digital world. We're talking about the future of AI and the privacy of your most personal health data. But before we get into the nitty-gritty, let me ask you something. Just think about your days so far. The playlist that started when you woke up, the news feed you scrolled through, the movie that Netflix recommended last night. The thing is, AI is already woven into so much of what you do, and it's getting more powerful every day. And this isn't the first time we've seen this movie. Remember a few years back with the GDPR? Yeah, the very reason you now have to click accept on all those cookie banners. Well, the EU is doing it again, stepping up to write a new rulebook that's going to have ripple effects way beyond its own borders. So let's get into it. This new digital strategy really boils down to two huge pillars, one that's all about artificial intelligence and another that's focused on our health data. First up, let's tackle the one that's been grabbing all the headlines, the AI Act. The main goal here isn't to slam the brakes on innovation. It's all about putting some guardrails on this incredibly powerful tech to manage the potential risks.
So what exactly is this thing? Well, it's literally the world's first major, all-encompassing law for AI. And the core idea is actually pretty brilliant in its simplicity. Not all AI is the same. The level of risk an AI system poses to us determines how strict the rules are.
And they've laid this all out in what they call a risk pyramid. It's a really easy way to get your head around it. Right at the peak, you've got unacceptable risk. This stuff is just straight up damned. No go. Below that is high risk, where the toughest regulations kick in. Then we have limited risk, which is mainly about being transparent. And down at the bottom, minimal risk. Stuff like video games or spam filters, they're mostly left alone.
So, what kind of stuff gets the boot? This is where it gets really interesting. The EU is basically saying absolutely not to things like government-run social scoring systems, but it also bans sneakier stuff, like AI designed to manipulate us or prey on our vulnerabilities. Using AI to read your emotions at work or school? Yeah, that's a hard no. It's seen as a major threat to our basic rights.
Okay, let's drop down one level on that pyramid to the high-risk category. Now, this is where things get really serious for the companies building this tech. We're talking about the AI that sifts through your resume, the system that tells the bank whether you're a good bet for a loan, or even software that grades exams. These systems won't be banned, but they'll have to jump through some serious hoops to prove they're safe, fair, and have a human watching over them.
And then there's that limited risk bucket. For stuff like chatbots or deepfakes, the rule is super simple: transparency. If you're chatting with a bot or seeing an AI-generated image, you have to be told. The bottom line is you have a right to know when you're not dealing with a real person or a real photo.
All right, that's pillar number one. Now, let's pivot to the second major piece of this digital rulebook. And this one is less about reining in danger and much more about unlocking the incredible opportunity hidden inside our most sensitive information, our health data. This is the European Health Data Space, or EHDS for short. The big idea here is to build a single, secure framework across the whole EU that does two main things. First, give you way more control over your own health info, and second, make it possible for scientists to safely use that data once it's anonymized to make huge leaps in research.
You can really think of the EHDS as having two different lanes for your data. First, there's primary use. This is the For You lane. Think about it. You're on vacation, you get sick, and a doctor in another country can instantly and securely see your medical history. It's a game changer. The other lane is secondary use. This is for the greater good, letting researchers access huge anonymized data sets to find new cures and improve public health for all of us. So, what's in it for you, the patient? A lot, actually. It means you get quick and free access to your own electronic health records. You can share them with any doctor you want, across the whole EU. You get more control to fix mistakes or see who's looked at your file. And here's the absolute kicker, the thing this all hinges on. You are always in control. You have the right to say no thanks to your data being used for that secondary research. It's your choice, period. And we're not just talking about convenience here. The numbers are staggering. The European Commission projects that just by making health data flow better and cutting down on things like running the same medical test twice, the EHDS could save a whopping 11 billion euros over the next 10 years.
Now, hold on, this isn't all happening tomorrow. This is a long-term vision with a very deliberate step-by-step rollout. The law kicks in around 2025, but you won't see things like cross-border prescriptions until about 2029. And sharing more complex stuff like lab results and medical images, that's not until 2031. They're in this for the long haul.
Look, none of this works, not a single bit of it, without one key ingredient: trust. That's why the whole thing is built on top of the strong privacy protections we already have, like GDPR. The goal is a system where security is the default, because if people don't trust the system, it's dead in the water.
Okay, so let's pull the camera back for a second. We've got the AI Act, we've got the EHDS. What does this all mean for someone living outside of Europe? Well, this is where we need to talk about something called the Brussels effect.
So here's how it works. When a massive market like the EU sets a really high bar for, say, product safety or data privacy, it's often just cheaper and easier for big global companies to make all their products meet that high standard rather than making different versions for different countries. We saw it happen with GDPR, and the bet is that the AI Act and EHDS are about to do the exact same thing.
And that is why this isn't just a European story. These new rules are very likely going to become the new global playbook for how our digital tools and health services are built, impacting the products you use every day, no matter where on the planet you happen to be.
So, it all boils down to this one huge question. Europe is placing a massive bet here. They're betting that you can have strong protective rules for your citizens without killing the amazing innovation that drives progress. Can you have both? Can you protect people and innovate at lightning speed? Honestly, the whole world is watching to see if they can pull it off.